Okay, once again, let us continue with our end of year adjustments. Remember, we have looked at provision, we have looked at accrued expenses and income, prepaid expenses and income. Now, let us see how do we treat bad debts. Of course, when you talk about bad debts, this one it occurs when the client or debtor fails to clear his or her business debt. Of course, here I find that you have your client, have your customer who always takes goods on credit, but maybe the person reaches some extent, not answering your calls. Maybe a person dies. Maybe a person changes business and does not inform you. When you try to get him maybe on a call, person is not answering. When you try to trace him or her where he has been working from, you find that the person shifted the business. So that's when you come up and you know that this one is a total loss. Now, here I want to know situation is under which you declare your debt as a loss. First, they have said death of your partner, death of your debtor or client. Of course, when someone dies, it's very hard to go and demand from relatives because sometimes they find the person has been running a business alone. No one has interest in that business. He or she knows how she has been moving or how she has been trying to do his or her business. So it's very hard. It's very hard to go and do what? Demand. Then another one changes the business location. Of course, when, for example, someone will be having a business in Kampala, Chikubo, and after time a person shifts to another area, maybe unknown area. When you try to go and see where you have been supplying goods, you reach there, you find another person, maybe you find that the shop is closed, and they tell you maybe the person shifted there. You start knowing that that is a loss. Then also we have answered calls and reminders. Of course, these things these days businesses are moving on platforms. You call, you order things on phones like that, and maybe a person has been your customer, you have been sending him things through just contacting on calls and what, and by mistake the person switches off phones. The person is not answering phones, not answering reminders. You don't know where the person operates from, don't know the type of business where he or she is. So that one you consider it as a loss. Of course, when you come under, now let us see how do we treat those expenses under income statement. Under income statement, bad debts or a loss, it is considered as expenses because you have made a loss. You sold your goods but the person has failed to pay. And then under financial position or balance sheet, it will reduce the value of debtors because you see the things. Debtors, you have been selling your goods to debtors, but this one has decided not to pay. So you will go under debtors and remove that bad debt because that one it is a sure deal you will not get money because you don't know where the person is. So let us see this one. Let us see some of the examples. Here they have said, Ken Enterprise sold goods on credit to Ivan worth 80,000, and out of these 5,000 were written off as bad. So that's how we are going to do our extracts. We are going to start with our income statement. So under income statement, we shall go under expenses and record bad debts. They have told us out of these 5,000 were written off. That means 5,000 they are written off. they will come undergo expenses. Of course, sometimes they can give you a percentage. They can say 10% of datas they were budgets. So you get your 10% multiplied by datas, and you get the answer. You get your budgets, but here it is already calculated. So under our expenses, we are going to record budgets of 5,000. Then we go to financial position. Or financial position shall come under assets, current assets. We are going to first record our data, which is 80,000. From our question here, they have told us data. Oh, the people who took goods on credit, Ivan, it is 80. Data here we have Ivan, 80,000. We just bad dates. Remember, our bad dates already calculated here 5,000. So we are going to come here and say 5,000. So our remainder of data is 75,000. So that is all about budgets, where you sell goods and the person fails to pay, and you consider that one as a bad debt or a loss. You treat it as a loss, where it will come under balance sheet, under income statement as expenses. Then under balance sheet to reduce the value of debtors, because those debtors, for them, they are not going to pay. Now let us go to provision for bad debts. Of course, when you talk about provision for bad debts, some business, they keep aside some money to cater for bad debts. That's why you find some have insurance companies where they insure those data. Some maybe any method. Maybe some are gonna be having account for provision for bad debts in a bank or what. But only all provision for bad debts, it's called provision for bad debts, or sometimes it is called provision for doubtful debts. When you reach somewhere and find provision for doubtful debts, don't be surprised. Here it is setting aside to cover up. Okay, it is setting aside money. It is setting aside money. It is setting aside money. It is setting aside money to cover up potential losses resulting from bad debts. Here you put aside some money, expecting maybe someone is not going to pay. If that one happens, you cover up. And of course, in setting aside that amount of money, sometimes you find that you have set aside high amount of money, expecting high people not to pay, or others. Sometimes you can set aside less money or little money, expecting people to pay, expecting people are going to not pay. They are what? So we are going to see. Let us first start with increase in provision for bad debts. This one comes in when you set aside less money to cover up potential losses from bad debts. Here you set aside the little money, knowing that people are going not to pay me. They are less, they are few, not more. So you come and set aside like a little money. So when that one happens, we are going to see how you how you calculate it or how you come up with it in the income statement and balance sheet. But here, under income statement, the difference in provisions, of course, when you get a set aside provision and you get difference with the one we have calculated or a new one or the actual one, you will get the difference. And when you find that the new one or the actual one, it is greater than the set aside or old one or expected, it means that is increase and that is an expense, because you have find that the one we have set aside is retro compared to the one you have got for bad debts. Then the new one or the actual, it will reduce the value of debtors, because they are the debtors who are doing what? They are the debtors. Bad debts are coming from among debtors. So let us first see this example here. They have said debtors it is 50,000, provision for bad debts it is 1,500. Then additional information they have told us 31st December 2024. Provision for doubtful debts it is 5% of debtors. Now let us calculate our provision. They have said we are going to first get our new provision. We can call it new provision or actual provision. It depends how you will approach it. But here we are saying new or actual provision. They have told us actual provision. Oh, the actual one at the end of the trading period, it is 5% of debtors. So here we're going to have 5%. How much is debtors? It is, come here on the question, our debtors it is 50,000. So we shall come here under debtors, we have 5%. 5% of 50,000. Of course, when you get 5% of 50,000, you get 2,500. This 2,500, it is new stroke actual provision. But remember, in our trial balance, we have provision of 1,500. That means this new provision or our actual provision, it is the one which is going to be subtracted from debtors in balance sheet, because these bad debts are using a value of debtors, or we have calculated using debtors. In short, this is the same amount. Now, in income statement, we shall first get difference. We are going to get a difference. So we have our new or actual provision, but remember we have also our old stroke expected provision. This one is the one which is old or expected. For them, they were expecting provision for bad debts of 1,500, but they have got provision for bad debts of 2,500. So we are going to come here and say our new or old it is 1,500. Now when you reach here, you compare the new with old. When we find that the new is more than the old, that means they catered less money to cover up debtors. It means they will go and get money to add on to cover up the new debtors so that they can cater for the total debtors, which is a new one of 2,500. That means that difference is the one we are taking to expenses, because they pulled out some money of 1,000 to add on our expected provision or old provision so that they can cover up our new provision. So here we are going to get our difference. Our difference in provisions shall get our new provision or actual provision with this our old provision. And of course here we are going to have 2,500 with this 1,500, and the difference is going to be 1,000. That means this 1,000 to go under income statement as expense. Then the new or actual provision which is 2,500, it will go to financial statement where it will reduce. What? Yes. So this one to reduce the value of debtors. Now let us do our extracts. We have income, statement, where we have said we have net sales, yes, cost of sales, gross profit. You add incomes, then you have expenses. So we have expenses and expenses. That's where we are going to put increase. A provision for bad debts, where it is this difference is one of 1,000. Then we go to a financial position. Financial position. Of course, we have said is under assets, under current assets. That's where we have our debtors, which is, come here and check our question. Our debtors we have 50,000. 50,000 less provision for bad debts. We have said bad debts. Sometimes they can say provision for doubtful debts. The one have a doubt, they may not pay you. But remember, here we have said, here we'll quote the actual or the new one, the new provision. This one, the one we have calculated, this one 2,500, the one that reduce the value of data. So we are going to come here and say 2,500, and of course here you have your remainder of data, which is 47,500. So that is our remainder of data. So that's how you deal, or that's how you work on increase provision for bad debts. Where we have said you find that the value you are given at the end of the trading period is more than the value you have catered for, or you have set aside a little money to cover up losses. The money you have put aside is less compared to amount of bad debts you are going to get. So now let us look how do you deal with decrease. Yes, how do you deal with decrease in provision for doubtful debts? Of course, under decrease, for it you set aside more money to cater for losses, potential losses expected from bad debts. Say here you cater for more money. Yeah, set aside more money. Set aside more money to cater for losses rising from bad debts. Of course, here you expect, in what you do, you'll be expecting more bad debts. You are there knowing that this trading period a lot of people may not pay, so there you have catered a lot of money, huge amount of money. And now I'm going to see how do you treat decrease in bad debts when it comes in this scenario. So here we are going to have, of course, even here you also calculate like increase, but a problem with this one, the difference, it is income, because you have catered for, you have put aside a lot of money, but at the end you have calculated After catering those bad debts, you have remained with some balance. That means that balance will go and take it under income. Yeah, this time it's not expense, it is income, because you have some money which you are putting back into business. So now let us first do some scenario and see. Hey, of course it is almost related to increase, but this time this one like a difference here. Income statement, the difference we record it. Incomes, then under financial position it is the same with income. The new provision will reduce debtors. Now let us see this scenario. In our trial balance, we have debtors worth 40,000. Provision expected for doubtful debts. We have 2,000. Then an additional information at the end of the month or at the end of the trading period. They have said the end of the trading period, they are telling us that provision for doubtful debts bad debts here they have said provision for doubtful bad debts is equal to 2% of debtors. Now that's our solution. How do you apply it to our extracts of income statement and balance sheet or financial position? So as usual, we are going to first calculate our new provision. Which is our new provision which is the set is 2% of debtors, so is equal to 2% of debtors. Two percent of debtors. So here we are going to have 2% debtors is here. Our debtors is 40,000. Our debtors is here 40,000. So when you get 20% of 40,000, you shall get 800. This 800 is our new provision. This is our new actual provision. So we are going to come up and remember, we also have old provision, the one they set aside. So our old provision, our old or expected provision is equal to this one. They set aside 2,000. It is 2,000. Of course, when you check, the new is less compared to a old one where expected. The expected provision of 2,000, but actually at the end, they find out that bad debts are for 800. That means the difference here will become income. So here we are going to get the difference. This time shall get old provision with this no provision. Where we have 2,000 with this 800. And we have 1,000 to 1,200. One thousand, 1,200. This one to go under income statement as income. So 1,200 to go under income statement as income, because our old provision, the one we are provided, or the one we are catering, it is bigger than the one we got, the actual one. That means the remainder, which is 1,200, to go to income statement as income. Then the new one, as usual, the new or actual provision, this one to reduce, which is 800, it will go to financial position, but to reduce debtors. It will reduce debtors. So now let us do our extractions. So our extractions, we are going to start with income statement. Your income statement, we have gross profit or gross loss. You put a value of gross profit or gross loss. Here specifically for us, we want our income. So here we are going to say add incomes. And that's when we are going to bring our decrease. Provision for doubtful debts, which is 1,200. This difference, this one, the one we code under income statement, under income. Then here we have, let's see how to appear in financial. Financial position. Of course, under financial position, we shall come under current assets. We have our debtors, which is, we go back to our question and we check the value of debtors. When you come here, the value of debtors is 40,000. 40. You less provision for doubtful debts. But remember here we have said we record the new or actual, the one at the end of the period, which is, come here, this one, this, I want to code this one 800. So here I want to put 800. 100. So that's how you deal with provisions, decrease and increase, and budgets. That's how you do. That's how you deal with them. So that's how you deal with budgets. Yeah. Then provision for bad debts. Well, I said you have increase in provision for bad debts or not for debts. Have like the way we are explaining each and every step. And remember the way we are putting them in extracts. Even when you reach in the actual work of income statement and what, it's the way you'll be feeling them there. Even though yeah, we are doing extracts, but there you'll be doing real work. So that's for provisions and for budgets. Now let us go to another end of year adjustment called depreciation. Of course, depreciation, after somewhere we are going to see it as a topic of its own, but here we want to see these small entities that comes in at the end of trading period. We want to see with small adjustments. But of course, when you talk about depreciation, it is decrease in the value of assets over time. It is decrease of value of assets over time. Maybe you have your motor vehicle. The price you buy that motor vehicle, when you drive it, even one day, the price will not remain the same. And that car value that has reduced, it is the one we consider as depreciation. But here, when you check under, yes, there are so many methods. Yes, we have so many methods under depreciation, but most common, the one that they use to ask under income statement. Yes, when we reach on depreciation as its a topic of its own, we shall see all methods and on how they calculate them. But here specifically, we are going to look at common ones, which are two. The first one, here we have our common methods. One is called fixed. This one, to calculate it, come and say depreciation is equal to this one. They give you a percentage. They give you percentage of value of asset at cost. So in short, under fixed, to calculate depreciation, you get that percentage that you are given, you multiply by value of asset at cost. Then another one is called reducing using balance method. So for using method for it is almost related to fixed, but it's not the same. Here calculate to get depreciation, shall get percentage given of value of assets. Here you get value of assets at cost. You less accumulated depreciation. In short, under reducing balance, you get percentage of net book value of assets. That's how you calculate reducing and fixed. For fixed, you get percentage of value asset at cost or percentage at cost. Then you get depreciation. Then reducing balance, you get percentage of assets at net book value. Net book value, you get value of assets at cost less accumulated depreciation. Now let us look at some example. Let us see one of the some examples and we see. Here they have said we have furniture worth 5 million. We have motor vehicle these values are mostly, they always come in trial balance. Motor vehicle is 20 million. Yeah, then you have accumulated depreciation. Under accumulated depreciation, one will have motor vehicle. Accumulated motor vehicle is 2000. Accumulated depreciation on motor vehicle is 2 million. Then we have accumulated depreciation on furniture. We have 700,000. So this information is always in our trial balance. Now let us see under additional information what they say. Under additional information, at 31st December 2024, okay, 2025. At additional information, they have said depreciation so we are here. They have said depreciation of non-current assets. For non-current assets, 1 maybe a of 20% of furniture at cost. Part B, we have 10% of motor vehicle. To reducing balance. So question comes like that. Now let us extract our financial statements. But we have said for fixed is at cost, for reducing you get that percentage at net book value. So here we are going to first calculate depreciation for each. Let us come here on solution. Let us start with depreciation of furniture. For furniture, depreciation of furniture, they have told us it is 20% of furniture at cost. So here we are going to get 20% of furniture at cost. Now we are going to come here under our trial balance or under our information. Furniture at cost is 5 million. So we are going to come here and say it is 20% of 5 million. Which is 20% $5 million, and we shall come up with 20% of 5 million is 1 million. So okay, now let us look at depreciation of motor vehicle. Remember, we are calculating depreciation of the year because the under income statement we record depreciation of year. Then under financial statements we are going to get depreciation of the year. We add on accumulated depreciation. So for motor vehicle, they have said it is 20%. Motor vehicle, it is here. It is 10% of reducing balance. So it is 20% of at cost, motor vehicle at cost, we less accumulated minus accumulated depreciation. So here we are getting 10% into what is the cost of motor vehicle. Motor vehicle, they have told us it is 20. Motor vehicle, it is 20 million. Motor vehicle, it is here, it is 20 million. So we are going to come here. Motor vehicle, it is 20 million. With this accumulated depreciation of motor vehicle, it is 2 million. 2 million. So here we have 10% times 18 million. And we shall end up with, of course, 10% of 18 million is 1,800,000. So this is our depreciation for. This is depreciation of motor vehicle for the year. Our calculated depreciation of furniture is 1 million. Depreciation of motor vehicle it is 1,800,000. And remember, we have used different methods because our instruction, it was showing us furniture. Yeah, when you check on our question, they have told us to use, for furniture it was at cost. That means that is fixed method. Then for motor vehicle it was at reducing balance. That is the reducing balance method. This one, furniture, fixed, we have calculated it. Reducing, which is this one for motor vehicle. Now let us do our illustrations, our extracts. We are starting with income statement. So we shall come under expenses, most especially these ones are most especially common under administrative expenses. So here we have our depreciation. On furniture. This one, which is 1 million. Then you have depreciation motor vehicle, which is 1,800,000. 1,800,000. So that's how you treat them under income statements. Then when you come Under financial statements, we shall get our depreciation. For example, furniture of 1 million. We add on accumulated depreciation of furniture to get total accumulated depreciation. So here we are here under financial position. Under financial position. Under financial position. Under financial position, we are going to calculate net book value of assets. So we are going to come here and say we are coming here and say this is our financial position. So we are going to say we have motor vehicle. Our motor vehicle, its value is 20 million. It is 20 million. Then we less, because here we want net book value motor vehicle. We less total accumulated depreciation. Well, to get total accumulated depreciation, you will get accumulated depreciation of motor vehicle. We add depreciation of the year, or the one we have calculated. So here, remember we are under motor vehicle. Under motor vehicle, and remember we are under financial position. You want to know the value of net book value. So here we are going to come here and look for accumulated depreciation of motor vehicle. It is here. Accumulated depreciation of motor vehicle, it is 2 million. So we are going to come here under 2 million under accumulated depreciation. 2 million plus depreciation of the year for motor vehicle, and it is here. It is 1,800,000. So we shall come here and say 1,800,000, and we shall get 3,800,000. So our net book value of motor vehicle we are going to get 20 million with 3.8 million. And we shall get our 16.2 million. So our net book value of motor vehicle, it is 16.2 million. But remember, we have got motor vehicle at cost, which is 20 million. We have less total accumulated depreciation, where we have said total accumulated depreciation. You get accumulated depreciation, the one in trial balance, or the one which was there, plus the calculated one, or the new one, the depreciation of the year. We are getting them from here. This is accumulated on motor vehicle, which is 2 million, plus this one, depreciation on motor vehicle there, this one, and we have got 16.2 million. In short, under assets, other financial position, we record 16.2 million. Now let us see, how do you get for furniture? Of course, even for furniture at cost, even here motor vehicle, so furniture at cost, it is 7 million. Here where is furniture? Furniture it is here. Furniture it is 5 million. Furniture it is here. Furniture it is 5 million. Still the same with this. Accumulated depreciation, accumulated depreciation. But to get accumulated depreciation, this is total. This is total accumulated depreciation. But to get total accumulated depreciation, we shall get accumulated depreciation of furniture. Of furniture minus depreciation of the one we have calculated. So this is the one which is the depreciation of the year. This one. The one we have recorded in the income statement is depreciation of the year. The year. And even this one. It is depreciation of the year. So we shall come here and calculate our total depreciation where accumulated depreciation so accumulated depreciation on furniture it is here. It is here 700,000. So we shall come here and say 7,000 plus depreciation of the year. Oh, furniture, where is it? It's here 1 million. So we shall come here and say 1 million plus 1 million, which will give us a total depreciation of furniture, total accumulated depreciation of 1.7 million. So depreciation of the net book value of furniture is equal to 3,300,000. So that is our net book value of furniture. Remember, these were what? Extracts. And in the coming days, we are going to look at income statements. Of course, when we are going to be looking at income statements, we'll be seeing how they are applied, how they are can do them in real business on real entities. So that was our adjustments. So our depreciation. That's what we can do today. We shall continue from there with another topic, probably income statement. We shall look at income statement from the root, from where you can first do trading account, do trading profit and loss, do balance sheet, then you do income and comprehensive, then you are going to do presentation and preparation of income statement, everything concerning income you're going to look at it. So that's all about adjustments for end of year adjustments. We meet in another topics.